the most important asset is his hands and his eyes. If you doubt me, those who are still alive, that coronavirus still left alive in Asrock, I want you to open the presidential office. If you open the presidential office and stream live from there, I will stop my agitation for Biafra. I will stop it. I am telling you before God and man, if you can go into the office and stream from that office, the presidential office, I will abandon Biafra. I will come live, apologize, and I'll abandon Biafra. But they can't do it, can they? The Chinese are working tirelessly hard to melt down the door. It's like the vault of a bank, but 10 times more, thicker. The key to it is now ashes lying somewhere in a grave in Abuja. Ash. They roasted him. He was cremated when he died. So there is no retinal scan, no palm print. You cannot access the office. Ask that anybody that is receiving now cannot come into. Trump has the Oval Office. Let me just put it very clearly. You have the Oval Office. You have the main office where the president sits to work, not where he sits down with toothpick to watch Champions League after eating Nkwobi. That boy from Sudan, they say he eats Nkwobi a lot. They brought an Igbo girl for him. He's eating Nkwobi. I don't know how he developed the taste for Nkwobi. Only him knows. I have no idea. After eating, he'll be watching. Now there's no more Champions League. I don't know what he's going to do. They will now take you to the room where he watches Champions League. They cannot take you inside the main presidential office. That is a no-go area. That place is banned. It's sealed. Before you open it, they need to scan the eye, the retina of the retina is in the eye, isn't it? They need to scan it of Abba Kyari. They need to do the palm print. That was how Abba Kyari became the most powerful man in Nigeria. That was why our dear friend John Campbell, a very intelligent man, and may God bless his soul, a very good man, of Council for Relations, wrote in a very innocuous tweet that some of you did not understand. But I told you, for John Campbell, for Ambassador Campbell to issue that tweet, it means that this man is gone. I told you that. It's a confirmation. And he's gone. Now they cannot get into the main presidential office. And I also warned people, I told you live here 2 weeks ago, that the actor they have in Abuja wearing the face mask, what is called hyper reality face mask of Buhari, he cannot speak. He can only wave and smile and pretend. He cannot speak. He was the one that said, oh, here is me in University of United Kingdom, America. Is him. He cannot speak. They're afraid. He knows not his brain is just empty. They brought him from somewhere, brought an Igbo girl for him in Asarok, cooking food for him. He will eat and he will watch Champions League. He does nothing. When they want, he will just put on the face mask of Buhari. Oversized one. Can't you see the neck? The neck of one of the face masks. Can't you see the neck? Yoruba media, they see all these things. I call them see no evil, hear no evil. Very horrible, satanic bunch of people that cannot stand on the truth. When they want to speak, they tell you the economy of Nigeria is Lagos and Ogun. Can you believe such rubbish? Forget the useless videos. The same conditions now were what obtained when Buhari died. They cannot get into the office because Abba Kyari's body now was cremated. They cremated his body. They could have cut off his hand to use it to open it, but they cannot. And they said, we flew him from Lagos. Ask, these people can lie. Ask them, is there even World Health Organization cannot even allow you to take the body of somebody that is ravaged by a contagion? To be traveling in the air is not done. It is not done anywhere in the world. Not done. That is why every country in the world, once you have COVID-19, once you die, the state takes over. They said his body, we're not flying his body from Lagos Hospital. And you ask them, where is this Lagos Hospital? They don't know. Is there any place called Lagos Hospital? The answer is no. That tells you all you need to know. Now you understand it, don't you? Now you understand precisely what we are saying, don't you? That I speak the truth, I have no need to lie. That was how I was raised. I cannot lie. What am I lying for? To lie for what? What? For what purpose? Ask them to go into the office. Ask them where is Osibanjo. Ask them now. Osibanjo was having meeting with Abba Kyari. How come that when all of a sudden Abba Kyari dies and no Osibanjo to say anything, their so-called young Bobo cannot say anything because we are still tracking Jubilee. We don't know where he is. We don't know if he's fled or if he's still having fun in one of the beaches they have in Havana. But we have not tracked him. We've not seen him in Abuja yet, not in Asarok yet. The other boy is still there, flexing, as they say. Abba Kyari devised a very clever plan. When he infected everybody, including Osibanjo, including Buratai came up one day and said, this is too much, I'm running away. All of a sudden, overnight, he decided that he's going to go to Borno to go and fight Boko Haram, that he will not come back until he defeats them. That goes to show that he has fled, he has run away. Write it down on a piece of paper. You know, brother, I used to love camera. How come no more video? It's now pictures. And Buratai makes a powerful speech. I said, is it not the same powerful speech or powerful letter or whatever nonsense it is that Abba Kyari wrote? And after a few weeks, the shame, the constant pressure that we put them under they cannot hide it anymore. They'll be regretting, say, why didn't we kill Nnamd when we had the time to do so? Or the opportunity to do so. Now they understand. Now they know how ruthlessly formidable we are. I will dissect the zoo. They will become a laughing stock. The world will see them. The world will spit in their face and say you are animals because you have failed to reason. Buratai was running to Niger Republic. Look at the trench, the ditch where he was sitting. It's a block. I don't know where they got the block from. Other engineering corps all over the world are building hospitals, high-tech hospitals. In the zoo, they're molding block. Inside, he went to fight a war. He's sitting on a block, cement block. How can I get a block? They want to mold block. They dug a ditch and they put block. I'm sitting down on a block. I'm here to defeat Boko Haram now. I'm here to fight Boko Haram. You are sitting on a block. Can you believe such nonsense? I don't know who advises these. I don't know. And tomorrow now, the idiot will pass on. And one fool from somewhere will say, oh, he was a good man, but he shall rest in peace. Even whilst you are alive, may your own soul rest in pieces. Because you're evil. You see somebody doing bad. You cannot condemn them. You cannot. You're there playing a nice guy or a nice woman. You want to be diplomatic. You want to sound in Africa. You're sounding nice in Africa. Buratai was sitting on a block in a ditch. Is that the best that the Nigerian Army Engineering Corps can do? Every country in the world, they are preparing against coronavirus and doing their best. This idiot ran away. No video, no nothing, no live address, nothing. Channels TV, Yoruba-owned channels. Hey, Indianiho, why can't Yoruba live evil? Yoruba, leave Satan. Let Satan leave you alone. Why are you people like this? Yoruba, why can't you embrace the truth? Why can't you see truth and you embrace it, Yoruba? Why can't you embrace the truth, for goodness sake? Why not? What are you doing with lies and deception? It was this deception that cost you a Lauren Afonja. Behaved exactly the same way you're behaving now, and you lost a Lauren. Have you forgotten? The same way you are now. That was how you lost a Lauren. The same thing you're doing now, and they're in your forest killing you. The same game. You have forgotten who the enemy is. You're looking at the east instead of you looking at the north. You're looking at the east. Anybody thinking about the presidency in the zoo in 2023, you need your brain examined because the zoo is collapsing this year. Whether Britain likes it or not, or China, I don't care how. Write it down as I speak. I don't care how much power they have. I see some people making a mockery of God because of coronavirus. People don't go to church anymore. You don't go to Jerusalem to pray. You don't go to mosque and all that because you don't understand how God works. Zoo is gone. People were saying to me, oh, leave this. I said, because you don't know me. I have identified the neck. I want to cut off the head. I'm cutting it and you're telling me to stop. Why should I? Now you have seen it. that the zoo has collapsed. And I'm giving an order, a standing order to IPOB families all over the world. I pray to heaven we all survive this coronavirus, because it's very bad. I'll come to that later. From now onwards, IPOB coordinators all over, you are under a direct order from me. Wherever you see anybody wearing Buhari face mask, attack the person. I repeat, attack the person. Do you know why? I want us to go to court. Let the police in that country arrest us and we go to court. And in that court, we will prove that the person we attacked is not Buhari. That is Jubril. It is a standing order. Wherever we see Jubril, if not the risk of being shot, we must attack him. Jubril is not Buhari. Buhari is dead in a grave in Saudi Arabia. We'll attack him. I tell you we are IPOB. We'll shock them. Since the world is pretending that this thing with a hole in the neck is Buhari, let the whole world come to court. We want to go to court and test this very matter, that they may know how serious we are. The politicization, I'm teaching the zoo people, I am teaching them government. I learned government in class 3, Government College Umuahia. I just want to teach them what I learned many, many decades ago, because right now I'm an old man. The politicization of certain portfolios under the zoo government is unconstitutional. You have the president, so-called vice president, and all the rest of them, and you have somebody who's ordinary chief of staff asking ministers to report to him, and all of you kept quiet. Yoruba media look to Southwest as usual. Why do I keep mentioning Yoruba media? Because they have what is called media preponderance. They control the media. After the war, even when Minaj tried to set up something in Obosi, they sabotaged it. They didn't want it to flourish, because they realized that if you control the media, you control the people. It was Yoruba control of the media. I'm not against Yoruba. You must understand me. I also attack Biafrans who are misbehaving. And I'm sure you people can bear me witness. I just want to let the world understand what is happening. It was through clever manipulation of Yoruba media that made our people join Cherubim and Seraphim. You know Cherubim, the White Garment Church. Cherubim and Seraphim is from Yoruba. Do some of you remember Celestial Church? From Yoruba. Ask yourself, why is it that we always attend the Yoruba churches? Why don't they attend our own? They don't attend because you don't have the media. You have nobody to publicize your miracles for you. When they want to write about their own, they say the highly respected man of God, Oko Nyoshi, an ex-Muslim, turned Christian to make money. A highly respected man of God. And the more you read it in Punch, in all those Yoruba papers, you say, oh, maybe he is. And meanwhile, you yourself, you're born in Lagos, under Ojuelegba Bridge. You have no choice. We attended, I think they also gave us, Cherubim and Seraphim, Celestial Church. They brought to, that's how all of you started going to win us, going to redeem. A clever manipulation of the media. That's what they do. But they never face the truth. And here on Radio Biafra, we force them to confront the truth, or else they'll be sunk. Had it been that Nnamd Kanu is a Yoruba person, by now, before I come outside, I'm telling you, they will lay gold for me on the floor. The only reason why they don't want to publicize what we are doing is because that's why now Moibo, we don't want him. That is how parochial they are. Forget all the smiles, we know. That's how parochial they are. I'm saying what I'm saying, that they may change. If I were to be a Yoruba person, they would have verified the claim of Jubril by now. They would have. But they won't do it. Because they don't want the history to remember that it was Nnamd Kanu that brought Nigeria to an end. No, they don't want it. You see, parochialism. And that is why Fulani Janjaweed, the Fulani headsmen, are in their bushes killing them. What Nigerians fail to reason through is that we are being deceived. Yoruba, you are being lied to. You are being deceived. Your newspapers and your TV stations are lying to you. They are worse. Some of them are worse than the politicians. Worse than Abba Kyari. Worse than the dead Buhari. Worse than Jubril. Some of them. Aisha came back and was lamenting. that she cannot get into her own room, her own quarters. And I was telling the world, Aisha is lamenting because Buhari, they pretended they didn't even hear what I was saying. I don't hate anybody. I don't hate. God in heaven knows my heart. I have cousins who are Yoruba. My uncle, the Christian, is married to a Yoruba person. My cousin is Yoruba. I don't hate anybody. The same way I'm hard on them is how I am hard on IPOB. Is how I am hard on Biafrans. How I am hard on anybody who fails to embrace the truth. Why won't you embrace the truth? What is wrong with the truth? The truth is very good, isn't it? Some of our people, I wouldn't say myself, are very, very bad as well. And I don't pity them. When Premado went to Germany, you saw the treatment we gave to him. We are not in the business of trying to pick sides. We are always on the path. I want Yoruba land to be developed. I want Yoruba people to be in charge of Yoruba land. I want TV people to be in charge of TV land. I want Jukun to be in charge of Jukun land. I want Ibibio to be in charge of Ibibio land. I want everybody. Go back to how you were before. Go back to how you were before. Then if somebody says it's good for us to be a country, then as Wole Soyinka argued for very many years, and of course with Tinubu as well for some time, we can now come together and decide and say it is possible to have a country. What is the name going to be? How are we going to live? We discuss like matured people, not somebody from somewhere deciding nilly-willy that they're going to impose a country on everybody and using cattle headers to enforce it. No. That's what we're against. This gospel is for everybody. This gospel is for everybody to repent. If you know what you're doing bad, you change. It doesn't matter where you come from. There are very horrible Igbo people. There are very horrible people from Biafra. There are traitors and sellouts from Idoma, like an angel. There are horrible sellouts, horrible traitors also from Ijo land. Also from Ibibio land. Traitors, I said. Where is that going to be from? It's not from me. Is it not a Biafran? Is it not a Biafran? We know them, all of them. But I want you to listen to what transpired, what happened to Aisha when she came back. And tell me, if the husband of the house were to be in the house, why the wife will be lamenting this way. I want the world to listen. That is why I said that when I said that Nigerians don't listen very well, people say, I'm not insulting you. You have made it very obvious that you cannot listen very well. This is Aisha Buhari. When she came back and they locked her out of her quarters inside that rock that they claim that her husband is in. You're telling me that her husband is there and she's being treated this way. Please listen. Listen. Listen very, very well.
Guarding us. 200 policemen guarding us. Why do you have to lock this door? What for?
She was locked out.
What for? Enough is enough. Enough is enough.
Listen. She's speaking Hausa.
Let me know what
I don't know what that one means.
Let me know. Enough is enough.
Enough is enough. Aisha Buhari, enough is enough. She was locked out of her own bedroom by Garba Shehu and Abakiari. And you're telling me that Buhari is alive and you will lock out the wife from her sleeping quarters? Are you insane? Buhari, are you insane? That Buhari is alive. You lock out, you humiliate the wife inside that rock, that he's the commander-in-chief? Hey, lallahi, I don't know. Maybe it conveys appropriately what is happening in the zoo. Now you're telling me you went to school. Hey, you're telling me you went to school? And you, all of you now listening all over the world, in your houses, your lovely wife is beside you. And inside that your house, a guest you brought in, electrician you brought in to come and work for you on the refrigerator, went and locked your wife's bedroom. And you're in the sitting room watching TV. And your wife is complaining that electrician locked went out of the room and you're there using toothpick to pick your tooth. Is that possible? Why can't Nigerians reason? Is that actually possible? I'm asking you. All of you listening tonight with your beautiful and lovely wives beside you, are you telling me that somebody can come to that same house you're in and lock your wife, lock out of her room, and you're in the same house. Somebody you're paying. That's what they are claiming happened in Asarok. Aisha came back from London, they locked her out. And Nigerians, intellectuals, those intellectuals. Daft. You're telling me that Buhari is alive and the wife was locked out outside Asarok. Oh, dear me. That was why they have gone out to invite the equally heartless Chinese. One wicked fellow to another wicked fellow. They say birds of the same feather, they flock together. Wickedness upon if you see the way Chinese people are treating us, I'm telling you the truth. If you see a Chinese person, you hack off the neck. These people are evil. Evil to the core. I don't defend evil. Diplomacy, I don't defend evil. God in heaven is I cannot defend evil. You must be mad. Look at the way they're treating us. And some people see how they treat their fellow black people. You see it. Your so-called fellow Nigerians, you see it. You see black people with your two eyes. You see them beating you to death in China. You're not moved. It doesn't affect you. You don't feel you don't feel anger, nothing. And you're telling me you're normal. The gospel of heaven I'm preaching. The truth. You can't argue with it. Can you? Abakari is gone. Right now, Aso Rock is empty. There is only a bunch of actors. Because even, I am saying it, even Femi Adesina is sick from COVID-19. Write it down on a piece of paper. Femi Adesina is, because they think we are stupid. Go and look at the grammar before Abakari came back with his infection from Germany. I'm actually thanking Germany for infecting him anyway. Look at how things were. Go and read Femi Adesina's post, his grammar. Those are the things it's just like a palm print. You cannot change it. And look at the grammar after this whole charade by Jubril from Cuba. Then you will know. That is not the same person posting this. It's not the same person. And I'm very glad that the whole world have given them their peace of mind. That is why we must preach the truth here on this very platform. Go and look at it. The Chinese have come. As I told you that they will come. I told you they will come. I don't hate anybody. Let me repeat. I can castigate people. I can admonish people. Nobody can say that one day I have come on air to say that Hausa people are animals. Or to say that Igbo people are animals, Efik are animals, Tiv are animals, the Bachamas are animals, the Baki people. I have never said that. I have always said Nigerians. And they have never asked me, why do you say that Nigerians are animals? Why? If you are Yoruba, Igbo, you are from Ishekiri, you're from Yoruba, you cannot be an animal. You cannot, because you're answering your name. But any day, you say, I am a Nigerian, there and then I tell you that you're an animal. Do you know why? The only thing you can give a name to is a pet, your dog. As I named my dog Jack. Or maybe you have a dog named Shibio. Or maybe or you have a pussycat in the house. You name it, whatever you like. The only thing you can come from outside and give a name to is an animal. People will say, oh, but how about my parents gave birth to... Because those are your parents. That's just like God, the way that God creates a nation. Only God can. The emergence of a nation is an organic process. Over years, the convergence of common value system, cultural values, ideas, language. That is what makes a nation. That is why the Igbo people, the Domas, the Efiks, the Ibibios, they are one nation. And I will tell you why. Because they have so many things in common. All the way to Warri. I said all the way to Warri. And somebody have said, oh, but Warri West and Warri Southeast, they are Yoruba, they are Ishekiri, they have the Olu of Warri. I said, because you're insane. You don't understand anything at all. If you go to Warri Market now, this night, or maybe tomorrow morning, not this night, on Monday, please. Go to Warri, any Warri Market on Monday. Stay very far, don't come close. Bring out your phone, your smartphone, with 6G network. Try to video them. Go to Onisha. Go to Newi. Go to Ibeku, where I come from. Go to the market and video the people. Travel then to Ijebuode, video the women in the market. Go to Kanu, you video the women in the market. Now, take all their pictures. Now, it's a simple assignment. Or even you can even go online. Go online. Get all the women in the market of every ethnic group in the zoo called Nigeria. Lay them out on a table and sort them out to who relates to who. You'll be shocked. You will be amazed. That was why I said when women tie two-piece wrapper with headscarf and a blouse, automatically, they are Biafrans. Go and check it. When you see a Yoruba woman dress, as beautifully as they dress, it is not the same. When you see Amina from the north dress, when they finish dressing with their fura pununu, whatever they call it, they carry on the head, you know it is not the same. But I'm telling you right now that if you go to a Calabar market, if you go to a Ket market, if you go to a Oron market, the dressing is always the same, all the way to Idoma. If they are not the same people, why will all their mothers tie two-piece wrapper, a blouse and a headscarf, if they're not the same people? Are you following me? Are you following what I'm saying? You see how educated we are. They called us miscreants and we kept quiet. Today, those that call us miscreants, they are now the miscreants. Lord have mercy. Abba Kyari was cremated. The first picture that we are showing you of a body being lowered into a grave in a sealed casket is only used for the repatriation of bodies from abroad. I know because I sent my mom home from Germany, so I know. Sealed casket, only from abroad. And they were the ones that said that nobody can claim any corpse of a victim of COVID-19. You cannot take them for burial. That was what the government of the zoo said. That's what the government said. So how come you're burying Abba Kyari then? Oh, he's above the law. Oh, sorry, I forgot. It's Nigeria. Why is he's above the law? I'm sure Yoruba will come tomorrow and say, oh, leave him. He's the chief of staff. But the law is the law. Do you see why I told you from, they call it ab initio, you know, people, ab initio, that Fulani, they make laws, they cannot obey the law. They don't know what it means. They don't know the meaning of obedience to the rule of law. Let me have some water. They don't know the meaning of the rule of law. They made the law. They thought they were not going to die. They thought nothing will happen to them. They say, if you're a COVID-19 corpse, nobody can claim you. But Abba Kyari died of COVID-19. How come you're burying him then? If you claim that's his body. Now you understand, don't you? Why Nigeria is a zoo? The legendary zoological republic. One law for like animal farm. One law for those in Asorok. One law for ordinary people. Will Yoruba people talk about it tomorrow? The answer is no. See no evil, hear no evil. They are fighting a battle they shouldn't be fighting. They could not cut off the hand of Abba Kyari. That is why Asorok is sealed till this very day. That is why there are two broadcasts, presidential broadcasts. We are videoed outside with a photoshopped background. God cannot walk with evil men. God is holy and holy forever. Not today you're hot, tomorrow you're cold. Today you stand on the truth, tomorrow you like a dictator. Today you're preaching harmony and peace, and tomorrow you love a warmonger. Makes no sense to me. Brother is on the run. He has hotels in Dubai. He needs to be alive to enjoy his hotels in Dubai. Or Operation Lafia Dole. He's on the run with COVID-19. He is infected with COVID-19. He's on the run. Telling the gullible, I'll be in Brano until the end of Adivu Boko Haram, which will be forever. Have they defeated the Taliban? US cannot defeat Taliban and Al-Qaeda. It's you, a ragtag army, that will defeat a disciplined army like Boko Haram. Is that what you think? Because Chad had limited success with them, you think you succeed? Go now. And as I keep saying, I'm very sorry to say that Abba Kyari was buried in a no man's land in Abuja. But my parents are in their compound. That is the very big difference between a dog and a human being. They say that the federal government of the zoo called Nigeria has revealed that corpses of patients who died after contracting COVID-19 will not be released to their families for final burial rites. But you released Abakari. And people are, it's democracy. It's our turn, 2023. It's our turn. No? Meanwhile, there is a desecration of laws and the constitution. You claim you're in a country. Do you see why I call Nigeria a zoo? Do you see why I insult anybody that says he or she is a Nigerian? Because you are an animal. One law for those in Asorok, one law for those in Ajegunle, and you're telling me that you're a human being? You cannot hold, you claim you elected them, then hold them to account. Hold them to account. Let them do what they say they're going to do. How can you make a law and say, oh, you don't need to bury people because of COVID-19, and then all of a sudden you are burying somebody because it's the chief of staff? Mad people everywhere. If you have come, let me just, as part of my COVID-19 update, if you have come in contact with any of the following people, there is every likelihood and chance that you have coronavirus. These are the people that Abakari met. Unless you've taken your what's it called again, tuberculosis vaccine, in which case you may be spared. Buhari's replacement, Jubril al-Sudani. Jew Buhari, that's how some of IPOB, they're very clever. They call him Jew Buhari, so in case you're confused. Abba Kyari has been with Jubril al-Sudani. Abba Kyari was with Osibanjo. Osibanjo is sick, we know that for sure. Abba Kyari have been meeting ministers. Abba Kyari met the secretary to the government. He met the head of service of the Zoo Federation. He met Adam Soshomole. I've not been seeing that one. Maybe he's down with Corona as well. Adam Soshomole. That little demon. He met all the 16 APC governors. Anybody meeting Hope Uzodinma, go and check yourself. You may have coronavirus. He met the Bayelsa State governor when he went to beg for money on the 17th of March. How a governor will go to beg a chief of staff is beyond me. But of course, we know he's not the chief of staff. He is actually the ruler of the zoo. He met the speaker and the House of Rep members on the 16th of March. He went and commissioned a program on the 19th of March. Anybody who, if you attended that same program, you go into quarantine. You are probably sick, infected by the dead Abba Kyari. All the staff at House of Villa, that is why they have locked up all Abba Kyari staff. Proper quarantine, Chinese style quarantine. They lock you, no food, no nothing. You will die there. In your next life, if they show you a janjaweed and say, come and be PA to a janjaweed, you say no. They're all there. They met some diplomats and some, they said those are people they hired from Abuja. EU did not go anywhere. those people that you can check themselves as well. And those that cover their faces, you know those cowboys, we are DSS, you know, security. That when that useless third hand Mercedes is running, they'll be running by the side, trying to mimic what US Secret Service does. They're normal monkey. Monkeys in Africa, trying to act big, like they're afraid the vehicle or watching for snipers. Hey, Zoo alumni, unbelievable. They want to be like a US, you know, running around, you know, near the vehicle, looking around. Oh, dear me. Sometimes when I watch them, I'm ashamed on their behalf, to be honest with you. And I told people that the Chinese were coming. Their main purpose for coming is to take over the government. Is it clear now? Is it clear now to the whole world that the reason why the Chinese came was to take over? It was the Chinese that advised them to burn everything down. That America will not do anything. Britain will not do anything. Chinese people are busy. They're the ones actually collecting the real money now. The real cash is to the Chinese right now. As you're suffering, begging for a cup of rice, begging for a cup of gari, asking where is the next yam going to come from, where is the next meal going to come from. A bunch of Chinese young men and women are busy taking all the money away. That is the price for belonging to a zoo. All the money is being frittered away. that you may know in your next life. If you hear the name Nigeria, you say, no, I don't want to be part of these people. Whenever we criticize them, people will be complaining. Oh, leave them alone. Always Buhari. Always Abakia. Leave them always Fulani. Why should they are the head? I want to cut it off. Why should I? It's like playing chess. I play chess very well, as a matter of fact. You sacrifice everything. You go for the king. You surround it, you capture it, and the game is over. It doesn't matter how many officers you've lost, how many foot soldiers you've lost, how many pawns you've lost, how many bishops you lost, how many knights you does irrelevant. You can even sacrifice your queen in order to grab the opponent's king. That's what we are doing. We are playing a high-power chess game. And they will not forget Nnamd in a hurry, will they? Oh no, this is God-made IPOB. Who can forget IPOB? Never. Not in this life. Never and forever, as a matter of fact. The whole world is listening, and we are propagating the gospel of restoration, the gospel of hope, to liberate the whole of Africa. Because what we are doing is mental sanitization, to cleanse your brain. So no idiot can come to you and say, I'm the president, secretary to the president. Rubbish, not in Biafra land. All men and women will be equal before God in heaven and the laws of man on earth. All this nonsense. You think we are doing this after suffering, after losing my men that were close to me, after losing my parents in this struggle, we build Biafra and one idiot will be traveling with siren? Is that what you think? You are dreaming. You are in cloud cuckoo land. You are dreaming. There will be no siren in Biafra land. Only ambulance, police, and fire service. Everybody else, you are like all of us. You travel like a human being. You made a law. Nobody should be buried. But you went ahead and buried Abakiari. You buried him. That is how terrible you people are. Because you support evil. Oh, there should be social distancing. You shouldn't gather more than 2 people. You went to Lagos and you arrested a young woman. What is her name again, sir? Her name is Adeleke. What's that girl's name? I've forgotten her name. Is that Adeleke? They call her. You arrested her. She's having a house party. And they went to Lagos. Channels was there filming. But you know that a channel's correspondent cannot say, but we say social distancing. Why are all of you crowding together in Abakiari's funeral? They will not say it. But if it is Adeleke, that girl, everybody will be writing, hey, she shouldn't be having a house party. She shouldn't be there. But you look at these morons from the arid deserts of the Sahel that doesn't know what law is. Look at what they're doing. Have you said anything? Have you complained? The answer is no. You cannot complain because you're a weasel. You are weak and decrepit. When it comes to other people, Nigerian media, they're very strong. Write the truth. This gathering of Atabakiari's laying to rest of his ash, that was because he was cremated. Are you telling me that this is normal? Is this normal COVID-19 protocol? The answer is no. Why then are you going about arresting people for having house parties when you yourselves cannot even obey the law? Zoo. You're not zoo for nothing. Animals everywhere. From top to bottom. Animals everywhere. All they know what to do is to kill. Somebody should, let me go through what somebody cleverly wrote about the Abakiari, as evil as he was. That some people are saying he was a good man. People are terrible, honestly. Abakiari is a very dangerous, conniving human being. Evil. He was the one that ordered Operation Python Dance. He was the one that personally signed that I should be killed. That the army of the zoo should come to my house to kill me. He has collected collected bribes from MTN. They know that very well, don't they? So that MTN can build their 10G network everywhere. He appointed himself to the board of NNPC. As soon as Buhari, Buhari loves oil and gas, petroleum, PTF. They love stealing. I told you that. You see the Janjaweed from the north. The Kaba, they love, nobody steals, they are criminals. And you're keeping all this Kanu in jail. I don't like him. He was a traitor. But he's answering an Igbo name. Olisametu is answering an Igbo name. They cannot be in jail when people who should be in jail are busy walking free or telling me they're fighting corruption. I will destroy the zoo. Otis Okalo must be released. So to Olisametu and all the Christians they're holding. Any day you want to have an anti-corruption tribunal, let all of you criminals gather together in a hall and judge yourselves. Not this stupid selective persecution and not persecution. This criminal Abba Kyari appointed himself and his children must be investigated. Don't look at Yusuf Buhari. Look at the children of Omar Diko. The children of Abacha. That's how they loot. That's how they steal. Then in the next 10 years now, they'll be telling Nnamd, oh, but we are millionaires. We are the richest people in Africa. But nobody will talk about how your grandparents stole money. As Dangote is doing that, the richest man, he is a front for money laundering. He's the richest man in Africa, my foot. Mad people everywhere. Abba Kyari put himself on the board of NNPC. He appointed his own daughter, the vice president of Nigeria's Sovereign Wealth Fund. All the overseas investments of Nigeria, Abba Kyari's daughter is in charge. This is nepotism of the highest order. But he's our chief of staff. He's a good man. Here, do you see why I call Nigerians zoo animals? You see that? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. He is the one that distributes every post in the zoo because, of course, he's the de facto president. Before you see there's shambolic Buhari, which is Jubril al-Sudani, you must go through him and give him his own money. He was the one that ordered the countless massacre of civilians. What the Janjaweed, the Fulani headsmen are doing was his own making. But to tell you how foolish they are, after creating Boko Haram, after financing Miet Yala to go and be killing people, he died. The fear of Boko Haram is the reason why they did not bury him in his hometown in Borno. Do you see how life goes? If anything, I want Yoruba media to learn something from the fate of Abba Kyari. Learn something from it. After financing Boko Haram, after financing Miet Yala, the terrorist group, the Fulani terrorist group that use cattle to be messing up people's lives, the fear of Boko Haram and bandits is the reason why he was buried in no man's land in Abuja. What does that tell you about supporting evil? Yoruba media must learn from this. Yoruba nation must learn from this. They have destroyed democracy. They have destroyed democracy. Now, who is your president? There is nobody. Nobody, any day, let God be my, any day Jubril comes abroad, we will sacrifice lives. We will go and grab him. Then the British police can come, or US police, or Italian police, they will come and ask us what is the problem. We'll tell him to remove the face mask. As we are going after him, we'll tell him, police, pull his face is rubber. Pull his face is rubber. They will pull his face, they'll see it's rubber. Then your eyes will clear. All those Yoruba evil media people, they will cover their faces in shame. I will destroy Nigeria. I will disgrace Nigeria, I'm telling you. I swear my life. I'll destroy it. Then that they may know. They will tell their grandchildren stories about IPOB and Nnamd Kanu. They will tell them that when they started, we thought they were joking. We call them miscreants. We call them touts. We call them fraudsters. Look at people who are forging pictures are calling others fraudsters. Can you believe such nonsense? People who the money meant for Aso Rock Clinic was stolen by one man, Abba Kyari, 13-point-something billion. And you're calling Otis Okalo, hey, he's corrupt. Hey, Olisametu, he's corrupt. And out of fear, and the cowards they gave us, Hanez and Pandef, useless set of men, useless to the core, useless beyond useless. That was one idiot who said, they call him Agwana Atumbe. When we get to you will know. That when I wound out to Agwa, your eyes will clear. Your fathers from Fulani will not save you. Now you understand it? Now do you understand the zoo? Why they do what they do? Because you let them. That is why there has to be a revolution. You have allowed them too much. Look at what we did in Hafia. That is small. The policeman is lucky he got away with his life. We'll find him. We'll find him. And I'm telling everybody, if you're working in the army, don't tell me tomorrow, we are obeying orders now, please help us. No. No. You're not obeying any orders. There must be spontaneous revolution across the entire South and Middle Belt. And let me tell you why. As soon as the Nigerian army turns from the north to start coming south, there will be no southerner that will join them to fight their own people. And you know then what Boko Haram will do? Boko Haram will ravage them. They'll be caught in the middle of a sandwich. The zoo is about to collapse. It's gone. Completely gone. I told them the time will come when you beg and will say, no, which you're useless. Which talk to which idiot? They are begging, hey, can we talk? Can we find a way? I said, get out of my face. Go behind me, you Satan. Talk to who about what? After killing people? After stealing? All that they do, all that Channels TV does is to support evil. So maybe one day they do because that was how their Oga, John Momo, made his money, by stealing from the public coffers to go set up a TV station to support evil. That's how you have channels. And some of you watch it and I feel sorry. Don't wonder you, of course, you're from the zoo. What do you expect? Everywhere. Unbelievable. John Momo stole money from Nigeria as information minister. That was how he found. That is why they support evil. Why else would they support evil? I'm asking you. Why else would they support evil? You have no light. They want to bury 5G cable in front of your house and you allow them. And you allow them no drinking water, no electricity. But there is 5G is good for you. Do you have brain at all? Do you have brain? I'm asking you. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. They said Brother gave a powerful speech in the north. Who said so? But instead they're in Ebonyi State. They're in Ebonyi State. In Umwogudu, in Umbo, Hauku, local government area of Ebonyi State. The army came there early this morning and destroyed homes and farms. We have also sent the pictures to the US and the videos as well. They should be rest assured. And in your house, they'll come and kill you off. And one idiot was saying, but it's our people, they're stubborn. That's why police are killing them. Hey, and I said to God, and you brought me in a continent with such people in it? Hey. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I am calling on those that conspired and jailed Olisametu, Ojus Okalo, and all Middle Belt Christian politicians who are in custody. Frankly, I don't care how you're going to do it, but I want them to be released. If the Fulani don't release Ojus Okalo and Olisametu, I will not relent until all those associated with Abba Kyari's loot are in jail. I'm telling you the truth, including Magu of EFCC. That time they will know how formidable we are. Go and ask them how strong we are. They will tell you. Any day they are prepared to jail the children of Abacha, the children of Omar Odiko, the children of Abba Kyari, the children of Buhari. Any day you're prepared to jail Magu. Remember Ibrahim Lamode with his £5 billion stolen from EFCC. Then we can give you Ojus Okalo and Olisametu, but you must release them. Or else, whatever, the zoo has no image, whatever is left of it will be completely decimated, completely destroyed. I don't care if you use coronavirus as an excuse, I don't give a damn, to be honest with you. Release them. Ojus Okalo should be released. Olisametu should be released. They must be released. Criminals from the zoo. You jail other people. But you that stole 13 billion from Asarok, you are walking about giving interview in Channels TV. Olisametu, you accuse him. You gave him 400 million naira to go and run a campaign for PDP. And he's in jail. The person that gave him the money is not in jail. Dasuki is in his house in Sokoto. And Olisametu is in jail. And the people are keeping quiet. You are quiet. Olisametu is in jail. And the man that gave Olisametu the money oh my goodness me. These people. Dasuki is in his house. Olisametu is convicted in jail. And you're telling me that we're okay. Dear me. They must be released. They must be released. And the little girl that Abba Kyari put in charge, is a good thing that Alan Dume is now saying it, that the whole COVID-19, I want to call it COVID-19 palliative is a fraud. It is a fraud. Just like Boko Haram, it is a fraud. The zoo is shrouded in fraud. There is fraud everywhere. That is why you always fall Mugu. That's fraud everywhere. They think they're smart, but they are not. The masses are fed up. Every day people complain, oh, hunger is killing also. Now is the time to rise in a revolution. Now is the time. There is no way that Ondo State could be burning. Enugu State is burning. Benue is burning. And they will be everywhere. No way. They cannot be everywhere at the same time. We conquer, we get some places and we secure it. There must be spontaneous revolution and the time is now. Anytime you take over a police station, you collect their guns and their bullets, you wait for them to come. That must be it now. And every Biafran who is serving in the zoo army, I know that there is something wrong with the brain of a black person who reason sideways. If you're a Biafran and you're in the zoo army, and they send you to go and quell any uprising, you go there and you kill somebody. When Biafra comes, you stand trial and you'll be hanged in the public. We will hang you in the public. Don't say we didn't tell you. Even if you like, go to Obama show and you kill somebody there, you'll be hanged when Biafra comes. We cannot excuse you. Because what you're defending is evil. It's indefensible. It's our constitutional duty. We have to. Nigeria is a fraud, is a sham, is a heaven for scammers. We cannot allow the zoo to prevail. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever, not whilst we're alive, not whilst this very IPOB that I lead is alive. Yoruba must be very sensible. There is a very compelling article written by one of their sons, Remi Oyeyemi, wrote an article. And he said in that very article that the Yorubas are sleepwalking into disaster. They must understand the thinking of the Janjaweed, of the Fulani, Miyetti Allah, terrorist brigade. You must understand them. Look at the clip today of the burial of Abba Kyari. These days, even you don't even know who is Yoruba anymore. You don't know who is a Biafran. They have so much intimidated all of you that you are dressed like them. The official lingua franca in Abuja right now, even in government offices, is Hausa. In the afternoon, they'll be doing meeting in Hausa language. In broad daylight. If you don't like it, you go. They don't know the difference between a formal wear and an evening wear. They have no idea as to what looking official means and what looking relaxing. Somebody will be coming to an office with this their funny cap they wear and slippers. He said, Ranka there, and he just walking, speaking hours. By 12 o'clock, he's gone. And you want to be in the same country with such people? I say good luck to you, but not we Biafrans. We are going to where we belong. It will not be well. Of course, look at this now with Abba Kyari before Lucifer. Telling Lucifer how they created Nigeria and how they ran it. That some people are telling me that they feel something for Abba Kyari. Abba Kyari is a cold-hearted, cold-blooded murderer. The Yoruba man that I have respect for, I will continue to respect, is Paaya Debanjo till tomorrow, till eternity. Consistency. He never changes. Never changes. And of course, I'm aware that some of the Yoruba people from Ekiti State, there's a bit of Igbo in them. I know that very well. Another day we'll discuss that. So when I talk about those people, we're also talking about part of our bloodline. But at least our own is a bit different. And one day I will also prove to you that the whole of Yoruba didn't used to be one before. I'll prove it to you. That is Ijebu, that is Egba. They're all different people. If you don't know, let me tell you. Coronavirus is wreaking havoc. Bet Asa, I call him Sir. Pa Aya Debanjo. We must go back to 1960 Constitution. Ask yourself, why is it that the Fulanis do not want any constitutional arrangement that will allow people to be free? Because they love control. You know they control cattle. And that is the gift that Yorubas gave them. That is how they want to be controlling everybody. It shall not be well. I like Paya Debanjo. 1960 Constitution. North, East, West. Do your thing as you wish. And come to the center and maybe give Alamajiri some small money. Because they're always poor. They'll always remain poor anyway. They are afraid of breaking up. Do you know why? Because we will showcase their poverty of intellect. That's the only thing they're afraid of. So that the world will say, oh, so these Biafrans are intelligent like this, and these other ones are here taking our money every blessed year. That's what they're afraid of. But if we are all together in this big bowl of mediocrity called Nigeria, you will not know what is happening. You know, as they say, what it means that all lizards are lying there, you don't know the one that has stomach pain. That's the problem. Because once you're in the zoo called Nigeria, everybody thinks it's a basket case, it's a useless place. Let people be free. Allow competition. They won't allow it because they cannot compete. They are intellectually inferior and they know it. Of course, the Yorubas can compete. They're intelligent, they went to school. But Janjaweed cannot. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It has now come to light that even in the United Kingdom, in the USA, in France, they are using hydrochloroquine to cure COVID-19. This is for, I don't hate Femi Adesina. I'm telling the doctors treating Femi Adesina, and especially Yemi Osinbajo, because I like him. I don't know why I like Yemi Osinbajo, for goodness sake. I can't explain it. Why I like him, I have no idea. Hey, Chineke, let God help me. Why do I like Yemi Osinbajo, for goodness sake? I have no idea. I keep finding myself praying for him to recover. I don't know why I'm praying for Osinbajo. I don't know him. Oh, I don't know. Osinbajo should leave me alone. I don't know him. But I'll continue to pray for him all the same. I'll continue to pray for him. Those treating Osinbajo and Femi Adesina should please give them hydrochloroquine. Give them zinc as well and vitamin D that they may live. Because I don't know, as I said, I don't know why I like Osinbajo. I just like the man for some reason. I think he's a gentleman. He's a gentleman. That's why I like him. He's a cultured gentleman. That's why I like Osinbajo. A lot. I do. I like him. You know, all those castigating him, if you're in the shoes, in the bowl of the snake, Fulani cabal, what can you do? You can't do anything. Is there anything they tell you that you're going to do? And that brings us to the end of our proceedings tonight. And by the grace of Elohim, I will be here on a date to be announced to continue to propagate this very gospel, but this evening is very clear. Aso Rock is empty. A revolution is one of the ways forward, or else we will disgrace the zoo in a way that any ear that hears it will say, we don't believe that Africans are capable of this. The zoo is gone. As I'm speaking to you right now this night, there is no president of Nigeria. There is no vice president of Nigeria. There is no head of government in Nigeria. Aso Rock has fallen. Nigeria has collapsed. It only exists only by name. And a few gun-toting policemen and army men. But anybody who comes to me again to complain that the policeman killed somebody, then I will tell you we are to get off. Once a policeman kills anybody or an army kills anybody, you people should overpower that very person and kill that same person as well. Once you do it twice, they will run away. All of them will run away. They will stop killing people. It's because anytime they kill us, we post on Facebook, oh, they killed us, oh, they killed us, and they get away with it.